Hey guys, welcome back to Weeb101 and I am here today to give you a surprise. I got my Minato poster, my Minato poster back there. It was hanging on the other side of the room and I thought I would get it back there. Also wearing a Kakashi t-shirt, if you can see.
Fully weaved out. Yeah.
Naruto power represented today. But yep, fully weaved out. But I want to show something cool that happened. Surprisingly, from Sid and Audi, those of you who remember Audi, I got manga!
Yes, he did. It looks so cool, dude. We shouldn't have given it to you.
Death Note and One Piece and Bakuman. It's my birthday in a couple of days and these guys surprised the shit out of me with 3 actual volumes of manga. And I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I would show it to you, but that would beat the purpose because the quality when you read manga is completely different than when you read it online. No hate to all the people who actually put a lot of effort to scan it and give it out to us in a totally legal ways. But thanks, guys. Legal manga. This is like the best shit ever.
And by the way, we've never owned manga before. Brew is the first one among us who's actually owned manga.
I am the god,
basically.
And I am increasing my Weeb level every day, as you can see. And with the manga, I shall show more if you guys want. In fact, funny story, on the last page of Death Note, you can see there is this ad for Bakuman. It's a full box set and it reads, from the creators of Death Note, comes with a 2-sided poster and author number 11 mini comic. And I didn't get this book until today and I got the other 2 yesterday. And I was telling Sid and Nori, holy shit, there's a Bakuman ad at the end of Death Note. And these guys are like, and I got surprised like crazy today as well. So it was a double whammy from them. So thanks guys. I shall own manga now and you hope I shall give it to you guys to read and then shall continue buying sets for myself and not you
all
guys
according
anymore.
to Keikaku.
Anyway, now that we're done with that, I just realized that anyone who's going to listen to this episode is going to be so pissed off because we're talking about what you can see and they can't see shit. But well, guys, it's Death Note, Bakuman, and
they'll also
One Piece,
probably piss there and they'll be like, "What are you talking about? You just got manga and that to the basic ones. We have like manga cabinets behind us," is what they'll probably be saying.
That's a figurine cabinet. I don't have a manga cabinet. In India, you don't get manga, okay? It's not our fault.
Now you do.
Do we get the latest Shonen Jump?
Probably not.
Unfortunately, it's out
the
of our
people
hands.
who are listening to this, the one person, if you want to send us,
technically in my
if you want to send us manga, we'd love to take it off your hands.
Yeah, definitely. If you have any manga at all, I'm pretty sure we will have some idea of what it is and we will take it off your hands unless you give us guns, you sick piece of shit.
I'll take it.
No, I'm kidding. I love guns.
I don't mind.
No, I'll take it. Give it to me and I'll gift it to Sid. Don't send it to Sid directly. That way I get to pull a surprise on him as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to our first topic of the day.
To our
only topic of the day. We are going to talk about Samurai Champloo.
You did it again. You stole my line again.
I think my net isn't working and I can see Sid right over here and I can't understand anything he's saying. So
terrible. Brew died again.
Real quick, sorry guys.
Well,
how about this? Is this working? I have disconnected from my internet. Anyway, I shall give you another sneak peek at this. Check it out. Like, check it out. Look at that. Look at that. It's so cool. So beautiful. I mean, it's only the first volume of each, but I am very happy to have it. And Audi tells me that Sid is also having net problems. I should be back. Hello. I am back. Can you guys hear me? Sid is not able to hear me. Okay, neither of them are able to hear me. Weird. Sorry guys, there's a couple of technical difficulties at this point. We'll fix it. We're tech pros. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. 5 minutes in and we're already
technical issues.
Well, you got to see my manga anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are going to talk about, let's do that again.
Yes.
I forgot that Sid is the one who tells it. Sid, what are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about Samurai Champloo. I should be more excited. Yes, Samurai Champloo. I think, oh my god, Bro died again. Did he die again? I think he died again. Well, this is a good start to our podcast. Bro is dying again and again and again. Good job. Good job.
I'm not dying, Sid, you're dying. Audi says you're dying.
Well, whoever died, someone died. And I
I
shall
don't think
blame
he can
Bro.
hear us. Audi,
I
could
can
you just
hear
type
you.
out
I
a
can
message
hear
to
you.
Sid saying he's dying?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Just a second. How do we solve this problem? I have no clue. At least tell me Sid's having worse problems than I have.
Dude,
Yeah,
I can
hello.
hear you guys. And
I am fine.
can you hear me?
Wow. Yeah, I can hear you
okay.
now, but I couldn't hear you before.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay, anyway, guys, today we are gonna talk about
Samurai
Sid.
Champloo.
Yes, Samurai Champloo.
You've done this too many
You
times.
usually have more
Well,
fun.
I've been yelling it out
Yeah,
so
usually
many
have more
times.
fun
you
saying
know,
it.
because of connection
Hey.
issues. This is like the 10th time I'm saying
innocent.
it. But yeah, Samurai Champloo. An amazing show.
Samurai Champloo.
Exciting show.
If you guys follow us on
Yes.
Twitter, you should know that you should have watched Cowboy Bebop. If you haven't,
Go check it out.
we're going to put a link up to it and you're going to
Yes.
go check it out on our Twitter. Guys, check it out. Anyway, Samurai Champloo. Sid has prepared a lot for this podcast. I, on the other hand, have done what I usually do and I didn't prepare at all, except I googled one fact which I should try to say before Sid does in a very natural
I'll let you
way.
say it. Well, I didn't prepare a lot. It's just so I was rewatching Samurai Champloo because I saw it a long time ago.
Look at this weeb over here rewatching.
And-
Anyway,
And I saw, like, at that point of time when I saw it years ago, I didn't know anything about like Japanese history. And watching it now, I saw all the references, all the cool references to like the Namban movement, you know, and like the Shimabara revolution and all these cool things that actually happened in history
I
that's
agree.
been shown in the show.
these are all points that I thought
Yeah,
of as
and it was
well.
very cool, and that's what I want to talk about. But let's get started.
Okay.
What do you think?
Let's get started. Hey, I asked the questions.
You
You
steal
don't ask
my
the You
lines,
can
I
steal
steal
my
yours.
role.
That's how it works.
My God. Okay, what did I
Yeah.
think? I actually thought Samurai Champloo was, as it goes with anything you suggest, I'm like, I'll watch
Of
it
course.
later. But then I actually watched Samurai Champloo pretty early on after you suggested it. And I really liked it. I really liked it from the first episode on. There's a lot of, okay, we forgot. A small summary of Samurai Champloo. Oh, since you're stealing all my lines, you do it.
What?
Do a short summary of Samurai Champloo for those who haven't watched
Okay,
it.
so Samurai Champloo is a very cool show. So Samurai Champloo is set in the Edo era, where it's about these three characters, Mugen, Jin, and Fu, and it's about their adventure to find the samurai who smells like sunflowers. And basically the episodes are basically made of their different adventures in different towns that they encounter different people, and it's just fun. Check it out. That's all.
My God, this is why I
Yes.
do those lines.
Hey, it's a good summary. It's a nice 2-line summary.
Yeah, you're supposed to add a little
Let's-
oomph to it. Anyway,
Add the oomph.
I shall open the wiki right now before
Wow,
I
dude,
forget
good
everything.
job. Good job with your summary. Nice oomph. The wiki is your oomph, huh?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it was a good summary. We can roll forward with that. But I thought well, it's like a summary you get when you're watching something in an anime.
It's like when I'm
legal
talking
anime
to someone,
site
they're like, yo,
or
what's
something.
Samurai Champloo? I'm like, okay, so it's this cool show about these
No,
three
and they'll be like,
characters.
wow, oh, these guys. Okay, yeah, it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, fine, whatever. I concede. Anyway, what did I think? I really liked Samurai Champloo from the first episode when the swords started clashing
Yeah.
around. I thought both Jin and Mugen were dumbasses at the start because. Okay, and like I mean, come on, they're fighting, and then one guy jumps in, and then they just start fighting each other instead of the actual guy they're supposed to fight. It becomes really weird, and I was like, why the hell is Fu just joining them randomly? It's just completely random. She has a safe life, and she's just running away to find the samurai who smells like sunflowers. And well, I mean, it makes sense. That's what manga and anime are all about. But it was just a little weird for me, that part. But then the swords were really cool. The people fighting with the swords
Animation
were really cool.
was really
Mugen
fucking
jumping around
cool.
everywhere. Animation was cool. The music was really good. I actually first I felt like it is such a contrast because you have like hip hop and you have like Edo era samurai, but it really came together really well in a very surprising way. So I'm very happy with that. And I think overall it was another show. Okay, maybe I didn't like the ending as much as I like Cowboy Bebop's.
You hated Cowboy Bebop's ending.
Yeah, I know. What did I say?
You said you don't like it as much as you like Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, sorry. I don't hate it. I don't hate it as much as Cowboy Bebop's ending, but the ending is still a little But it's still much better than most anime I've seen.
Yeah, it's a nice ending.
Yeah.
Well, it's...
Hey, also, only reason I didn't like Cowboy Bebop was because they killed off Spike and... Okay, that's a spoiler. But I didn't like that part. I'm okay with
it. You'll get your hate rant later. You can wait for it.
I don't hate anyone in this show.
You just started by saying, in the beginning I didn't like it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, yeah, here.
Hey, I said I didn't like the way Fu just went off with these guys, not caring about the world.
She never cared about them. She worked at her uncle's place which burned down, and she was on a mission to find her. Spoilers. She was on a mission to find her dad.
Yeah, that's a very big spoiler, but I think people expected it from the start.
So that's what.
Sorry, movie recording.
No.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's still a little weird for me. Like, it's a random guy who doesn't have money, who decides to fight everybody in your store, kill all of them basically, to pay off bills for food. And the first thought you get is, I should go with that guy. I should find my dad with that guy. No, what the heck? He just... What do you mean destroyed in a fire? They caused the fire.
I think that... Did she say that was one of the reasons? He's like, you'll have to pay me back or something for that?
Yeah, but he doesn't owe her shit. He owes the owner's shit.
They show that throughout the show, right? He's like, I don't care about you. I'll just throw you, just leave you here.
Yeah.
In the beginning, at least in the beginning few episodes, they keep trash talking Fu, right? They're like, I don't care, get lost. They find every chance they can to run away from her.
Yeah, at the end from each other.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
And then they start fighting again because it's their job to kill each other. But I really like the show. The show was, except for the ending, I think it went straight uphill.
Yeah.
Ending went a little.
Okay.
A little. But otherwise it was fine.
Yeah, I think...
I have the opposite problem of the problem I had in Cowboy Bebop. I have the opposite problem here actually, but we shall get into that later. Sid, what did you think of Samurai Champloo?
So the show, I overall I like the whole show. I have a problem with a few episodes, but I understand the Samurai Champloo is supposed to be like a mixture of different episodes, right? And because of that, I understood that later. But when I was watching it, because when I was watching it, all of them seemed many episodes seemed like fillers, right? I was like, well, why are they just fillers? They're not getting to the main story. Most of the episodes are just random adventures. But later...
And then you saw it and you're like, damn, it ended already. That I just saw fillers.
Exactly. And it makes sense why they're random episodes with the title and everything. So I understood that later on. But even though it is a remix and stuff, some episodes were really cool, even though they were different adventures away from the story. I really like some episodes, the one because they did contribute, the one where Mugen meets other people from his childhood, who lived on the Ryukyu Islands with him. I really like that episode, and a lot of
course, Why wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
there's also this cool moment, like when this song is playing in the background after the ship, like after the blast on the ship,
Yeah,
and Mugen is like just surviving. I
yeah.
love that. I love that whole scene. That song is like so good. I love the whole environment it creates. But
Man, I must tell you, I got debated in that episode so
yeah,
bad. I got so debated. I fully expected the I forgot his name. The guy
Mugen,
Mugen hates. No, no, no.
Muroko,
The guy he
Modoko,
hates the. I
Muruko.
don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
I fully expected him to be the asshole of the
Oh,
story,
I see.
and then in the end they show that it was the sister, and I was like, whoa.
It's
Did not expect that.
yeah, it was.
Did not expect that at all.
Mugen was I see. I knew the sister was up to something, but I didn't expect her to be the one who's like causing all the problems. But at the later half,
Yeah, I
I
know,
think it
right?
became pretty obvious.
Bro, till the end, I was just like, okay, that guy seems
Yeah.
pretty bad, okay. And then in the end, he's like, hey, what's up here? And I was like, hey, what? It's her?
Yeah, that was strange.
Oh, she tried the same thing with Mugen, and now she's trying it with some other dude.
Makes sense, yeah.
But
I thought,
that initial shock was still there.
yeah, it was pretty impactful. Also, I thought the baseball episode was full bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, my god, what are they doing? Why do they even have this episode? But it was funny, I guess. But I was still like, why is this here? I guess. But overall, I
Yeah.
really
That seemed like a proper filler.
seemed like a
That
proper
baseball
filler.
episode was like a proper
Yeah.
filler.
But I really love the animation. Like the fighting scenes are so cool. They're so well animated. Like the movement, the way they've done the timings, and the sound design is so
Yeah.
beautiful. Especially like in the end, right? So you see Jin fighting the Kagetoki, the guy in the end, the samurai
Yeah.
from the Shogun who works for the Shogun.
Yeah.
The sound
Yeah,
design
yeah.
is like it's the whoosh and the clash of the swords. Like it's done so well with the movement. Like my mind was being blown when I was watching that. And even the first scene,
Yeah,
right at the bar when he like cuts off his hand, and even when Mugen and Jin are fighting, that scene is animated so
Yeah.
well, dude. I saw that and it blows my
All the
mind.
fight scenes I
Yeah,
think are
yeah, yeah.
animated really well.
I'm just talking about the like what stands out, and even when they're fighting Sarah, the blind lady who uses the star
Yeah.
spear. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, that blew my mind. Holy shit, they've done it so freaking well. I think they really did good
Well-
amount of like research and work when it came to these these scenes.
Yeah, well, that was another episode where that one I saw coming kind
Yeah,
of,
that one was pretty
but I was
obvious.
still like, I was still like, what? Because I thought it was just like, Mugen getting horny, wants to fight, wants to go around with this girl.
Of course.
And then it turns out that she's slapping him to pieces. I was like, hey, what? Hold on. Oh my god, that's fun. Each episode is really fun on its own, and they have a story that still goes over everything.
No, I think like a lot of episodes that I thought like that seemed like fillers also like they did make like important references to that time and also the references to the theme. Like for
And this is
example,
where you take over and I sit back.
no, like we can talk about this. So like as
Okay.
so they make a lot of references also like to the whole theme. Like for example, the episode where they meet the guy from Holland, the eating competition and stuff.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
talk about
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh my
the
god,
painting.
yeah.
So there they talk about the Namban movement a lot, And the Namban was this movement where like Portuguese explorers and stuff started coming to Japan and trading with them, And that's called Namban. So in Japan you have a lot of Namban artwork, that whole period, and there's a lot of that's how woodblock paintings also went overseas, because artists used to paint on like these on like wooden blocks that would be part of the crate or something that would go outside, that would be shipped out, and that's how people outside would discover it. I think
Makes sense.
I think this thing who's the impressionist painter, I can't remember his name. Monet. I think Monet has been
Yes.
Monet has also
Monet,
referenced
of
a lot of
course.
like Hiroshige's work and stuff, so you can see how woodblock reached like different parts in Europe,
You guys know Monet.
Yeah, of course, Monet. So I think that movement was also very important. They started the cultural exchange between Portugal and Japan, and Japanese language, culture, food, like everything started during that movement, you know. And also, like, some people think
Yeah.
it's good, some people think it's bad, but that's also when Christianity started spreading in Japan.
We shall reserve any comments
No, we
about
can
that on
still
this
talk about that
podcast. I don't
movement because
know.
it's history and it's what happened, and they show that a lot in Samurai Champloo also. That's an important part of the whole show, right?
For, for those of you who are religious, you might want to switch off this podcast for the next 10 minutes.
It's
Yeah.
just
I don't think it's a good thing. There's a lot of culture in Japan
yeah,
that is still being affected by Christianity coming in and taking over
yeah. So
everything, I
basically,
think.
these like these Jesuit monks who had come from Portugal, Spain, Italy, but in the beginning mostly from Portugal, and they were trying to spread Christianity around Japan. And like in the end, they talk about the no. So before, so like I was talking about woodblock paintings. So they showed how like paintings, how they were exchanging paintings. You know, like even old Japanese woodblock paintings show like depictions of like explorers coming and ships and stuff. You know, so so you can actually read about the Namban movement, and it's like really interesting. But speaking of like the Christians, for example, you know, like and they want to go to Nagasaki, right? So Nagasaki
Yeah.
was the harbor where most products and where most of the trade happened in Japan. That was the biggest place where Christianity spread, where where these Portuguese people used to come and land. Basically, that's like
Makes
where
sense.
the
Makes
whole
sense. Yeah.
movement started. That was Nagasaki. It was the biggest place at that time. So it makes sense that they were going there, right? And the thing is,
Wait, I have a
yeah,
question. I have a dark
sure,
question.
sure.
When after Harbor happened, okay, hey guys, you might see a little difference here. There might be a little bit of a cut in audio and video. The power went out at my house and it just came back. So we are continuing from where we left off. And if I remember correctly, since we discussed this already, I do remember correctly. My last line was, Sid, I have a dark question for you.
What?
Japan bombed Pearl Harbor,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me.
and you said Nagasaki was the biggest harbor.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Is that why Nagasaki was bombed in return?
I don't know about that. I can't confirm, but makes sense
Is
actually.
Hiroshima also a harbor?
Well, Hiroshima was a popular place, but I don't know if it was a harbor. If it was a popular harbor, you know. So I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check on that. But that was much later still. Probably there must be a reason
Interesting.
they chose those places. Yeah. But basically Nagasaki was like
Yeah.
it was one of the most
Anyway, what?
diverse port cities of that time, you know. And like I think
Yeah.
when I lived in Portugal, I heard a lot of this from Portuguese people themselves. So they were talking about the similarities between their and Japanese, like language and culture and stuff. So apparently, the Japanese word for like glass, the old Japanese word for glass was like I think birodo or something, and it was the same. That's what they call it in Portuguese as well.
Portugal.
And the Castella cake, you know, is very popular in Japan right now, and it's very popular in
Yeah.
Nagasaki itself. You know, Castella is like a Portuguese sponge cake. I think in Portugal they call it pau de lo or something. I had it over there also in
Do they
Portugal.
not eat it in the? Did I think they eat it in this thing, right? In Samurai Champloo, right? Don't they eat something
Yeah,
which is
they
European and some
when
cake
she
which is
leaves
European and
when she leaves she gives them when she's leaving on the boat she sends them to buy the Castella cake, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Castera. So that cake,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Ha, ha, ha.
that's
Yeah,
the
I
one that
remember.
they're eating. So that's basically from Portugal. I have had it in Portugal. Pau de lo, it's called, and it's like, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
really soft. I think I was telling you about
Look
it
at Mr.
also.
Globetrotter over here.
Hey, just talk.
Yeah.
And also the tempura, it comes from Portugal. You know the word tempero also.
What?
Yeah,
Oof, my mind is blown. I thought tempura was like a Japanese thing.
I thought too, but apparently it comes from Portugal. Even the word is it comes from the Portuguese word tempero.
Apparently.
Yeah, and
So the
also,
Japanese people are just copying other cultures, you say?
well, they were influenced by it. I'm just saying they were influenced by it. Like they have a lot of influence everywhere, right?
Just influence.
Yeah. Like we also found out like the Portuguese call potato batata, and here in Maharashtra in Marathi they call potato batata, right? Which is crazy.
Yeah.
So there are
So
lots
you
of
think the Western
similarities.
world has spread its influence so far that we don't even
Everywhere.
know if we
Yeah.
have our own cultures anymore?
I know, right?
My
Also,
God, you Westerners, man. Do you have any Western fans out there? Tweet out to us saying I'm Western.
that's all. They just say I'm Western and that's it, huh?
And that's it. And then we insult them on Twitter.
My
We're like,
God.
haha, Westerner. Do you even.
Only
I don't
Bruce
know.
is going to insult you all.
It will come out of the Weeb101 account, so it could be either of us. Don't trust Sid, he's a
But
master
they'll know when they
manipulator.
listen to this
Anyway,
episode. Anyways, also, I heard this from people over there. I'm not sure because I haven't looked it up, but they say, like, the word for thank you, right? Arigato. They say it comes from the Portuguese word, which is
obrigado.
obrigado. Yeah. I don't know if it's true
Yeah,
or
well, that
not, but
makes
it
sense.
makes sense if you think about it, right?
What if conspiracy theory? What if the Japanese had all these words and all these foods and the Portuguese stole it and they were like, we've been making this all our lives?
I don't think conspiracy theory. Oh, it doesn't make sense. I guess it's history, you know.
It's a conspiracy theory. It's not supposed to make
Yeah,
sense, you know. No offense to all the conspiracy
Yeah,
theorists out there.
dude, they're all gonna come after you
How
now.
do how do jet
Hmm.
fuel melt? How does jet fuel melt steel beams?
I don't know. Why are we
But you
talking?
do know the conspiracy theory behind
No,
it,
I
right?
don't know about it. Why are we talking about jet
It's a
fuel and steel beams now?
it's after 9/11, people said it was an inside job, and
Oh,
when asked for proof, they said that the steel beams of the building had been melted, and they're
okay,
like jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams, and
okay.
that was their proof.
Uh huh.
If there are any conspiracy theorists listening to this, you can correct me on Twitter. Just say you wrong. Oh. That was my dog. Sorry. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
just say you're wrong. This is the actual thing. But from what I can understand, jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. So who melted the steel beams? Were they destroyed from inside? Is the
Oh, I see. Hmm.
conspiracy.
Well, probably I don't know.
Anyway, not that we
Yeah.
care about
Anyways, let's
America.
get back to this.
We
Yeah.
care about Japan.
Yeah, we're talking about Japan here. Yeah. So
Yeah, and you start
they
talking
showed.
about the history.
So they showed that part pretty well. Like the whole influence of European traders and the spread of Christianity through Japan, which actually happened. And there's a really good film that shows that. I think I told you about it. Martin Scorsese's Silence. It's a really good film that shows that certain period. It follows like these Jesuit. Wow! It follows these Jesuit priests or monks who go to Japan and their journey, where it's under the Tokugawa shogunate, and they're trying to like erase Christianity from Japan. They're trying to kick these guys out because they don't want Christianity in Japan. They used to like they showed them like crucifying them at like Nobori Betsu, like the hot springs and stuff. Like I think it's a really good movie. You should check it out.
Yeah.
And we also see a lot of that in Samurai Champloo. Like when they're entering the village, you see the Fumie, the picture they need to step on, the picture of Jesus Christ that they're forced to step on. They used to force the Japanese
Yeah.
to step on that to prove whether they're Christians or not. You see that in the
Yeah.
beginning, right, where they tell Mugen and Jin to step on it, and they're like, "No, I'm not going to
Yeah.
because you told me to do it."
Yeah. And they
Yeah,
think they're Christians because they refuse, and
exactly. Yeah.
another fight scene.
So that's
Hold
something
on.
they actually
But
the
I mean,
the
that's
shogunate.
also something that's there in India, right?
What?
Because if I remember correctly, when the Mughals came to India,
Yeah.
they would tear down Indian idols and so on, and they would throw them on the road, and people would have to spit on them and kick them to show that they don't care about the god, that the idol being destroyed. And if you didn't do that, then they would force you to convert to Islam, and they would ask you to do it again. If you still didn't do it after converting to Islam, then they would be killed.
Yeah. I think that happens wherever like you try
And
to invade.
if you refuse to convert to Islam, you
You
get
get
killed
killed,
anyway.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's similar in way where they force you to do it. Even in like over there, they used to like torture people who would refuse to step on it to the point that they would go mad and like die and stuff. Like they used to use these insane torture methods, or they used to just like cut them with a katana. But it
unless you
actually,
meet someone like Mugen who can save you easily.
I know, right? And so they were like Kaku Christian. I forgot the proper term for it, but there were these group of like hidden Christians, and they're the ones who like started the Shimabara revolution. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
So it's
we see
about
that
it's
as well
these yeah,
in
we see that it's
Samurai
about these
Champloo.
peasants who are trying to rebel against the shogunate, which happened during that period, and the thing is,
Yeah,
even the place they go to, the last Ikits, what's the name of the island? I forgot the name.
I shall check it out.
I forgot the name of the island they went to. It's an island off the coast of Nagasaki, right? Ikitsuki Island. I'm probably butchering the name, but
Yeah,
so
probably.
that island actually has like a church, on it, on the cliff, that's you can still visit if you go there today. How cool is that? Like they use like real life locations from history, which of course makes sense. But even like that island
Yeah,
was what?
I'm just googling and you keep telling me.
Yeah, so the island was there's actually a church on the island. It's not as destroyed as they show like in the last episode, but it actually
Yeah,
exists, and it's pretty cool, like that they've like basically they've done their research, and they've
Ikitsui Island. Yeah,
what is it called?
Ikitsui.
Ikitsui, sorry, yeah, Ikitsui Island, yeah. So they actually have a church there that you can visit if you go, and so people like I found this on Reddit, so someone on Reddit has actually like they've made like a Google Maps, they've made the whole
Yeah.
journey that these guys took throughout like the show, and like you
Wow.
can actually follow it, and I guess there are people who actually like go through that journey from Yokohama, where they started, to Ikitsuki Island, in the end. Like they go through all
Wow.
these places, like taking the exact path that these guys take, crossing the river and everything. Like this guy, he made an amazing map. We link it in the description for those who want to see it, but it looks really cool. Check it out.
My
It's
God.
very, very detailed.
This is.
Yeah, but so yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Yeah, I can see the river here. I can see the.
So the church is supposed to be. So there is a church which is the
What?
last one to have the Kakure Kiristan. The Kakure Kiristan is the hidden Christians, who lived in Japan at that time, the peasants, and they do show a lot of that even in the movie The Silence.
Yeah.
What?
Hmm. What? Sorry, can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, what were you saying?
No, I was actually just saying, yeah, I saw the
Map.
map and it's crazy the way he's gone, yeah.
I know,
And you can
right?
see the river when we cross and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think that all of these were actually based on real locations. It's like
Yeah.
it's like Kimi no Nawa all over again.
Yeah, it's old school Kimi no Nawa, and they've done a really fucking good job,
Basically, yeah.
And also like the baseball episode, so it reminded me of this,
Yeah.
because I remember, I think I told you Japan was like closed off to the world before, and like Commodore Perry
Yeah.
was the one who came and opened it up by like firing cannons,
Yeah.
so they show like cannons firing in the beginning. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that
So
actually.
in the beginning they show
They
like,
do?
yeah, they show cannons firing, and I think another Commodore Perry doesn't come, but they show another guy called Alexander or something. I don't remember his name, but I think he's the one who comes.
Okay.
He's supposed to be called like the father of baseball, that guy, but Commodore it
Okay.
and they say, and like since it was a filler, they said Commodore Perry came after that.
Wow.
Yeah, but they actually do say that the first one to come, the first Portuguese explorer to ever, the first foreign visitor was I think I told you about this. I was talking about a book that called Pilgrimage that I learned about in Portugal by this guy called Fernão Mendes Pinto, where he talks about his
Hmm.
journey from Portugal through Africa and all, finally to Japan.
Yeah.
And like they say, most of it is fiction, or they say it's fiction, but it's actually his story of his travels through Japan. So
Hmm.
they actually believe that he was one of the first people to come to Japan. before Perry when it was closed. So that's a pretty
Wow.
interesting thing. Yeah, I think they say
Must.
in like the 1543 or something he came. They say it's pretty crazy.
Well, Japan has a lot of people coming in now because of those two guys. Huh? We owe them thanks if we ever get to Japan.
I know, right? And if we ever do this road
Without them,
from Yokohama to Ikitsuki Island,
that seems like something that will take a lot of effort, energy,
It
and
will,
money.
it
And
will.
I'm not sure if we have a mixture of all three. I don't even know how long it'll
even
take.
I don't know.
It feels like it'll
Yeah,
take a long, long time.
somebody sponsor us, and we
Yes,
shall go
please.
happily.
Maybe we can speed run through it. You just vroom through it. Just go. We get a helicopter and we just go to.
We'll do a full vlog series if we get sponsored.
Oh yeah, if we get sponsored, we'll do a proper like this is where this fight happened. This is the church on Ikutsuki. What did I say? I don't even remember.
Ikitsuki Island.
Ikitsuki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ikitsui Island. Yeah.
Hmm.
And this is the church, and
Everything.
here is the first store that was burnt down by Mugen and Jin. That'll be fun.
I don't know if we can get that detailed, but yeah, we're gonna try. Definitely, it's a good thing to do.
If you sponsor us, we'll try.
Definitely, hey, we
But yeah, what
sponsor
else?
us, we'll definitely do it. Also, I think I told you about this, but the first shot when I saw Mugen and like the end, like I didn't know where he was from because, like I assumed he was like from the islands in the south, like Okinawa and stuff. I assumed he was from Okinawa.
Yeah.
Because of like
He's from Hokkaido.
no, because of the tan he has, and
Oh.
the end, his sword looks like a sai.
Yeah.
The handle of his sword looks like the
Yeah,
handle
yeah.
of a sai, which is part of like the Okinawan weaponry. Their martial arts, which also we saw a lot of in
So
Kenichi.
he is from there?
So he is actually from. They say he's
Yeah.
from the Ryukyu Kingdom or the Ryukyu Islands, right? So that in the past used to be like a group of islands, which is one of the islands now is Okinawa.
Ah, makes sense.
So he is actually from that area.
He is from Okinawa. You are right, you called it.
Well, I don't know if he's specifically from Okinawa, but yeah, from one of those islands over there, I guess.
See, Sid has Japanese knowledge. This is why you send us to Japan, guys. Who wants to send us to Japan for free?
I know, right?
Not for free. We'll be putting out episodes. We'll be
We shall work hard.
talking. We'll be shooting. We shall do all that.
We should do all that.
And unfortunately, our current sponsor Audi has run out of money, and he can't send us
Send
on
us
our way
on our way
anymore.
to Japan. But yeah,
Yeah, like, I'm telling you, man, kids these days. Anyway,
I know, right? So, Brew, let's move on from the history lesson, like the references, episode wise, and like, what was your favorite, like, if you can say, like, episode from their adventures? Which one stood out to you? Like I already said, the one where Mugen, like, that one really stood out. So, what was that for you?
I don't remember this properly, but wasn't there some guy who Jin fought, and then Mugen also fought, and he beats one of them, and the other guy kills him? I forgot the.
There was
Hold
one guy
on.
who Jin and Mugen. Are you talking about the guy in the end, the Shogun Samurai, Kagetoki?
I think so, because yeah, Mugen fights him and loses, right?
Mugen doesn't lose, but Mugen couldn't beat him. Like he gets cut here, and then
Yeah.
Jin is like, "I'll fight him. You go and get Fu. Like go on the boat and get Fu."
Yeah, and Jin also had this thing, like he thought back to his master and how he could become better.
Yeah.
And then in the end, he uses when he's going to stab the sword straight into his stomach, he stabs him in
He
that one
stabs him
moment.
at the
That
same
was pretty
time.
cool.
Yeah,
I think
that was pretty cool.
yeah, I think that episode was the coolest.
That was the
The
last,
last episode was a little.
That was the last episode.
No, it was the second last, right?
No, it's the
Wasn't it
last.
the second last?
No,
Okay, then
So-
the rest of the episode was.
I don't know. You're probably
not
talking
sure.
about the
It's
last few
questionable.
minutes that you don't like, but before that, that's what
Yeah,
happened.
probably. I just didn't like the ending. If by ending I mean what happens right before the show closes down.
Yeah, I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
The climax was fine. The climax of the fight was fine.
The ending seems
But the
fine to
ending-
me.
No, okay. Can we get into that? Are we
Yeah,
ready
sure.
for a
Let's
rant?
get into it.
Okay, now here is a guy that Mugen can't beat, like can't touch at all, okay? And it's been implied through the series that Jin and Mugen are on the same level, right?
Well, I don't know that, but yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah, and Mugen can't touch this guy. Okay, we can chalk it up to this guy being trained in the arts and Mugen being more of a freestyle swordsman, so he can't touch him. Okay, understandable. And then Mugen goes on his merry way and Jin takes over. And now Jin wasn't able to fight this guy either. He was losing terribly until he thought of that one thing from his sensei, and this is what helps him.
He just avoided he lived in the last fight. He avoided it. He just got a little scar here, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He still got a deep wound.
No, but
it wasn't a little scratch. It was a deep wound.
But he didn't he didn't get owned. Like they fought for a good while. Like
he got owned.
Not really. He did. Otherwise, he would have instantly. I think Mugen had a harder time fighting this guy than Jin did. If you see that part.
Yeah, of course. But still, this was like Conor McGregor versus this guy.
Yeah. So of course Jin was better. Name? Like Kagetoki was. I don't know who you're talking about. Khabib. I don't know.
No, who was the boxer? Oh shit.
What? Conor McGregor versus... Oh, the boxer. Shit. Fuck. We have terrible boxer. I know who you're talking about. The guy with M who's the champion.
Name. Yeah. And that match went on for a while, but McGregor was losing from the start.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah. So that guy was losing McGregor was losing from the start. It was pretty obvious. It was the same with Jin. Jin was losing from the start. It was pretty obvious. And then he finally thought back to that one thing his teacher told him and managed to get a stab out. But here's the thing. The stab he took should have been of equal value to the stab he gave back, because he left himself intentionally open to be stabbed in that area.
Yeah.
So he fully expected him to die taking this guy down.
Yeah.
And then but at the end of it, he just walks up like, "Yo, what's up? I'm fine. How's it going?"
You know what? I I thought at the end both of them would die for sure. Like because of the damage they took throughout the last episode, you know, like even Mugen getting a cut here, then going there, like even at the church he took so much damage.
Yeah.
And, like I thought they would, and I think if you see Jin get stabbed like right in the back, if you see that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that? I'm not sure, but I'm like, oh, is that his spine? Like, I don't know how they managed to live, but even I thought they would definitely be
And they managed to recover so quickly. In the next part, they're all like, la 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 la, let's go on our next adventure.
No, and another weird thing is, right, so Jin is been hurt in the back and he's like up on the cliff. And then Fu and Mugen are downstairs, like below the cliff. You can see there's a good height. And then the next scene, Jin is suddenly next to Mugen, you know, he just comes down walking, he's like, "You're still alive." That was very weird. I'm like, how did you come down all this way? Did you just like jump off the cliff or something? Right? That part was very weird to me. Yeah.
I know, right? And like, come on, this is the perfect time to kill both of them. They both have done their job.
Yeah.
They both have finished the purpose they came for. Kill them. Okay, fine. You didn't kill them. They somehow survived. It's anime, I can understand. But then after that, they go their separate ways.
Yeah. That was very weird.
Like, don't you think that after all the adventures, after finding out her father is literally dead and there's nothing she can do to help him, nor can she be with him, the least she could have done is be like, "Hey, you guys, you helped me. You made sure I survived for this long." And she's like, "Okay, bye. I don't need you guys. Fuck you." And all the while, it's because of them that she gets food. So what is up with that? I don't understand that. It's like she just throws them away and they throw her away and each other away. And I was like, okay, this is going to be some kind of bait. They're going to go the different ways and they're going to come back together.
That's what I thought. I was waiting for them to come back together, but then they ended. I'm like, I don't know why he made them go their different ways. Like, I'm just trying to think what he was trying to think. Probably, I don't know if it's right, but I don't know. Maybe. What?
Maybe he was getting pressure to make a season 2 of it or a part 2 of it, and he was like, "I'm not doing that." So he's just like, "Oops, they went their separate ways. They can't find each other again. Unfortunate."
Probably, maybe, or maybe it was just like, how it happens, like you're going on a journey, you meet travelers, and in the end you'll go your own ways. It was probably something like that, which actually happens. I'm
Yeah,
not
but that's
sure.
different. I don't pick up the traveler and be like, you help me find this guy.
Yeah, you don't. No, yeah, it's not as intense of a
Okay,
journey.
you know what? It's like this. Okay, it's like this. You go to Japan. Okay, you're in Japan, and I need to find you
Yeah.
because I need you for animation
Yeah.
or graphic design or something. And then on the flight to Japan, I'm talking to the guy next to me, and that guy is like, oh, I'm an animator. I also do graphic design. And I'm like, hey, if you're a graphic designer and he's a graphic designer, help me find my friend. I have decided you have to find my friend. And that guy's like, what? Why me? I'm like, well, you both are graphic designers.
Well, we
That's
don't
literally
live
the
in
same
anime,
thing.
We don't live in anime, and I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I'm just trying to see what he would think there. I don't know what he was thinking. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes more sense for them to stay together at the end
Yeah,
than
it
the
does.
beginning.
I thought they just go together in their own way and like walk around. But even I think the last ending song was like just them walking on their own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very weird.
What the hell is Fu going to do? What does Fu do after that?
We don't know.
She's a useful character, but she doesn't have the ability to get food like these two do.
Yeah, I don't know what, she probably works somewhere or something. I have no idea what they're gonna do
So
after. I think both these guys can
So why
survive,
go
but I
back
don't
to
know
her
what Fu
old
will do.
life?
Yeah, she could have.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that part of the ending. That was questionable at best.
Yeah, the ending was really weird. They all just go off alone their own ways and just keep walking.
Yeah, I really like what happened. I like the climax where all the
Yeah.
fights happen, where Jin takes out that guy, Mugen takes out the other guy, and then we realize that Sunflower Samurai is literally just a shell of a person on the verge of dying.
Yeah.
So
No.
yeah, so that I can.
Yeah, it was. I think they did that in an interesting way. That wasn't like this OP character just waiting for them to come. I don't think I would
Yeah.
have liked it if
They
they
had
went
to
that
nerf
way.
him.
Yeah. Nerf is an understatement here, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nerf is an understatement. Well, he was technically a war criminal.
Well, he was, yeah.
That's why he was being hunted.
Mhm. Yeah, but he was just
But
pretty
still.
weak towards the end.
Pretty weak.
Well,
The man
he
couldn't
was
even
almost,
stand.
like he said, I'm quoting him, he's almost dead. He's as good as dead at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my god, what the hell? The hell point is that just kill the guy.
Well, he
Like,
did
imagine
kill him.
how pissed Mugen would have been.
I know, right? Mugen would have, but I think
Mugen loves a fight. He always loves
he
a fight. He's
loves to
always looking for
challenge
someone
people.
new to
Yeah,
fight.
that's true.
Yeah, and he was probably thinking, this Sunflower Samurai, this girl has been bugging me about him all this time.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight that guy and beat him. And then he takes out his sword, goes in, and he's like,
No, but later Mugen
I
becomes
see.
more sympathetic towards Fu, right? In the beginning, he was all like, but later he
towards Fu, but he still wants to fight other people.
I think,
So he'd be
no,
like,
but
okay,
I don't think he
I'm
would want to
helping her,
fight
but
the
I would.
samurai though, because of how he feels. And literally after Fu said it's his father, I don't think Mugen would want to fight him. Like not in the,
Hey, but then it was implied that Fu liked Jin, and he never stopped fighting Jin. Mugen was still fighting Jin all the time. Hello?
You died.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Oh, I seem to have died.
And there Brew goes again.
Server. No
Dead.
problemo. I shall join right back.
Power gone probably? Probably not. We shall see.
Look at my beautiful face. Till he comes back, I am all that there is. Don't trust it. Vicious was really a bitch. I hated him. And I'm not going to deny it. I hated Vicious. But Sid was on his side. He's like, oh, people like using knives and fucking swords in the fucking live. Hey, hi Sid, what's up?
Are you back?
He didn't hear me. Oh, I can't hear him. Yes, I am back.
Are you back?
I think.
Oh, well. Did you finish your secret
I was
hate
totally
rant?
not talking. I totally wasn't talking about Vicious. I wasn't talking about anybody.
My god, you're again talking about Vicious.
No, I said I wasn't. My God.
Yes.
Can you listen? Anyway. Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
weird. The ending was like was disappointing,
One
but
second,
it was a
wait.
much
What
better
happened?
ending than a lot of anime.
What happened? What is that? You started. It got paused. Then why what are you showing me?
It's written 50 minutes.
Okay.
I'm
Dude,
just showing you the 50 minutes.
Don't distract me in middle of conversation. Continue. Sorry. If it's
What
recording, let it
happened?
keep recording.
It's gonna get over once it is 50 minutes. That's what I'm saying.
It's gonna get over. So stay here and start another.
That's why it's
Tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still a much better ending than a lot of anime that I have
Yeah,
seen.
it is.
Naruto. Fairy Tail.
You'll be coughing and taking every major anime name that screwed up their endings.
Bleach.
Yes, exactly. I don't think you should be coughing also in
Well-
2020, by the way. But you can do that.
That's
if you
true.
want.
I am not COVID positive. At least not as yet.
Yes, he is
Well,
not. But
I do know people who are. I know celebrities.
so your favorite moment, the episode was the last episode, huh?
Was I still think it was the second last episode and not the last episode. Let's check the wiki.
Dude, I just saw it like a few
Um,
days ago. The second last episode is where they fight before they go to the island. The last episode is on the island.
The last episode is on the island, yeah. But
Yeah,
it's before
and,
that they start fighting.
But that's not
Yeah,
where
it is.
he kills
It is the second
Kagetoki.
last episode.
He doesn't kill.
It is the second last episode.
He kills Kagetoki in the second last episode. No way. He kills him in the last
No,
episode.
he doesn't kill him
Yeah,
in the
that's what
second
I
last
said.
episode. Yeah. Well, that fight was beautiful overall.
Yeah, that fight was really good. It really stood out. And even the
In
way.
fact, when I started reading Kingdom,
Yeah.
the general there, he reminded me of this guy.
Kagetoki.
Yeah, the not Oki. The guy who helps the king, who helps Sei with his he's his diplomat. The guy who helps him in the
Mhm. I can't remember his name,
uprising,
but I know
basically.
who you're
That guy-
talking about. Yeah.
For some reason, he reminded me of this guy. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think they are similar, I guess. Yeah.
I think it's just like my mind was like one samurai, two samurai, they're the same.
They meet together. Yeah.
Yep, it's all because they're samurai. But either way, that was a
Hmm.
good episode.
So that was amazing.
Wasn't there also some episode where they got high on drugs or something?
Oh yeah.
Not drugs.
Shrooms.
but,
Was it the
uh,
shroom?
so
No,
shrooms?
it was weed. Yeah, they did get high on weed, right? They went to the temple of the warrior priests over there. You remember that?
Eat mushrooms which cause them to hallucinate zombies and ghosts.
No, the mushrooms one was there, but it was also when they went to the temple of the warrior priests where they had like a weed plantation. Do you remember that?
They had a weed plantation. I don't
Yeah,
remember this.
on top of a mountain there were these sect of warrior priests and they had like this weed plantation and like Mugen and Jin get really high while like fighting them and in the end they are like laughing together and stuff. It's a hilarious episode.
My God.
Basically they fight next to this wheat plantation and they set it on fire and because of that it goes
all
into
get
the
high.
nearby village and everyone starts laughing and happy and they're like
I think I
the
remember
story
this.
was like this village people are usually not allowed to enter until you have a pass or something, but that day on that one day everyone was allowed to enter. The whole town was open, everyone was laughing and that was why they were all high.
Wow.
It was hilarious. And also what?
Yeah, tell me. No, I was trying to look for the episode. I don't know which episode it is.
Oh, yeah, and the shrooms one was also another one where they go to find I don't know if they were high or what, but that was a very weird episode where they go to find the ancient treasure
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Yeah, that was very strange. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was so.
Anyway, also
Also,
the song is really good.
oh yeah, can we talk about the music? Like how he used like, oh,
Yeah.
dude. So this thing. So apparently when he was coming up with the,
Hold up. This is my moment to shine.
sure, go ahead.
So, guys, you might be wondering why does Samurai Champloo, set in an era long, long ago, have hip hop music?
Tell
And
me
I
why.
shall tell you why. It's because when you look at Champloo, it's like Champuru, which is supposed to be a mix of different. Am I getting this right, Sid? You can stop me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you can talk about what champuru means, yeah, and then I'll.
It's supposed to be a mix of different flavors, right? It's supposed to be different ingredients.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a stir fry, yeah.
Yeah, and you can mix in whatever vegetables you want. You can fix in meat if you want. You can do all that,
That's
and it's basically like a mixture of different things, and it can be translated to remix. So what you're actually watching is Samurai Remix, which talks more about the hip hop culture which has been shown in it.
yeah.
Anyway, Sid, you can take over now. I'm very happy that I made my point.
Good point, yeah. So basically, champuru means like to mix, and the dish.
Hey, you can take the same point I
dish
made and say
brewers-
it again in a better
I'm
way.
just saying the dish Brew was talking about is called Goya champuru, the stir fry.
Okay, that's all he's gonna say.
And so the thing is, when Watanabe, Shinichiro Watanabe, the amazing director, when he was coming up with Mugen, apparently he was listening to hip hop, and he wanted Mugen to be like a rapping samurai,
My
which
God.
he changed his mind later. But I think you, even in the show, you still see a lot of heavy influence. Like in the first episode, the disc scratch, when they transition between Mugen and
Yeah.
Jin, there's like the disc scratch, which is like really cool.
Yeah.
And also later in one episode, you do see the rapping samurai, right? You also
do?
see the beatboxing samurai who's holding the hilt of the katana and like
Yeah,
beatboxing.
yeah.
So you see both, Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there are these three samurai who come up to them and start rapping and telling their stories. I don't remember which episode, but it is there.
Yeah.
Also, there's a lot of graffiti.
Was that the graffiti episode?
Yes, you remember
Yeah.
where they go around town like applying graffiti everywhere.
Yeah.
I think it was another popular dojo.
That would be Jin's master's last students or something, right?
It wasn't his master.
That's the last
it was,
students he has.
It was another master he went to study a different
Oh.
form. But yeah, it was his sons. So they inherited the dojo.
No, it is no.
They inherited the dojo.
It is his old master.
It wasn't his master, dude. It was another master that he went to. I remember this. That to learn a specific art. So he came to that town to learn that art before, and he had met that guy,
Oh.
and that guy taught him, and the guy told him, basically says this, the master told him like, I ask you for a favor, please, like, take care of, protect my sons or something like that. He says, make sure that they do well. So that's why he says, I need to make sure they do well, and that's why they call him like, that's why they treat him with so much respect.
Well, yeah, I remember the graffiti
Yeah.
though. That was fun.
Yeah, like it was in Hiroshima, I
There
think,
was a-
because I think in the last they're like graffitiing all of Hiroshima castle, and then Mugen in the end goes and
Yeah.
puts the infinity symbol, which is apparently the meaning of his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
If I remember correctly, he learns to read and write in that.
Yeah, he learns to read
Episode.
and write. Yeah,
because till then when he goes to a restaurant, he just looks at the menu and he's like,
I know.
and then someone has to read it and tell him what's there. Yeah.
And in the last
I
episode,
remember
he
that.
just I think those influences are like really cool. They've done it in a really good way, Also,
Yeah.
especially the music. Can we talk about Nujabes, the Japanese producer who I love? I mentioned him to you.
You can talk about him because I don't think I would have much to. Hold on, just a second. Dog, no.
Yeah. Dog, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
can-
Nujabes was like an amazing Japanese producer. Like after I watched Champulo, I think I really like the music. I used to listen to the soundtrack all the time, and then I discovered Nujabes and started listening to like other albums of his. So he was this Japanese producer who at that time was doing like really interesting things. He had these like chill, like jazz filled, these jazz filled tunes where he owned a record store in Shibuya. Okay, I think it was called Guinness Records, and basically he was really interested in like analog production, so he used a lot of analog devices then actually going digital, and he used tons of samples because he had like this whole library because he owned a record store, right? And he used to
Yeah.
produce music in like this really, it was like deceptively simple. It seemed really simple, but it was a really complex, like the way he turned music and like basically morphed it into like this crazy interesting
Like
thing.
simple when you think it's simple when you hear it, but to play it is actually
Yeah,
requires a
exactly.
lot of skill.
And like
That's
the
right.
amount of work it takes
Yeah.
using like analog devices and samples to actually create that is like crazy. Like he put a lot of work into it. So I think
Yeah.
Watanabe also said like Nujabes was the person I thought of first when I thought of like making the soundtrack for this, and I think it fits it like an amazing way. And Nujabes of course did an amazing job. Even in the beginning, you hear Battle Cry, right? The song with the rapper Shingo too. Like it's a freaking amazing song. It instantly pulls you in, And the song, I think the song was like the perfect fit for the whole show, even though it was made before the show. I think they found
Yeah,
like
I know, right?
I-
Fits it
and I think
beautifully.
even through yeah, and even throughout this you can hear like his tracks, like his jazzy tracks with a little bit of hip hop and disc scratching mixed in. He had this really
Yeah.
interesting style. I think unfortunately he passed away in 2010 in a car accident. He was pretty young, so that's sad.
How old was he?
I think he was in his 30s, if I'm not wrong.
Oh, that's pretty young.
Yeah, but he had already reached his peak. He was like one of the first producers outside Japan who was like famous globally because of the work he did. I think his albums like Model Soul and Metaphorical Music are like the biggest out there. Like people love listening to it. And I would,
Well, now you know what our
yeah,
recommendations
and I
are.
think I'll say this because I think he's the one who like started the whole lo-fi genre. Everyone's trying to do what he did nowadays. Like it's so popular, right? Everyone listens to lo-fi music all the time on YouTube and all. They keep playing it.
Yeah.
So a lot of these artists, I think, they are inspired by Nujabes, who's
Okay.
and they're heavily influenced by music, and that's what they're trying to create. So he's literally influenced and created a whole genre, even though they may not be as like jazz influenced because he used to listen to a lot of old like Miles Davis and John Coltrane and stuff like that. But they still but this like chill lo-fi genre, as you call it now, is definitely has been introduced by him, and it's very popular
Well,
now.
that's quite a legacy he's left behind for
It
people.
is the legacy is left behind,
Must
but
say.
also it's most people are doing it without knowing that it's from Nujabes. Like,
Well, that's just what
yeah,
happens
it's
in
what
life.
happens and he's also referenced by a lot of rappers, by the way. Like I was seeing this
Oh.
documentary on him, like apparently Substantial, the rapper, who actually worked on Nujabes on one of his first albums. He says like Nujabes called him and he's like, can you come to Japan, like in my studio, and like record this with me, apparently. So he also talks about this a lot.
Wow.
Of they talk about like Nujabes, they all talk about like Nujabes as this great rapper who contributed a lot to to the industry.
Society.
They compare him with
Yeah.
the another producer called Jay Dilla, who also died at the same day that he did, I think. Oh no, I don't no, I think they
Wow.
share the same birthday.
That's
Sorry. I think they share the same birthday, but they are always talked about in the same level. Yeah,
same
yeah,
level.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And and his real name is Seba Jun, so his name backwards is Nujabes. If you see that way, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Oh, you're honestly like a Pokemon Ekans and
Yeah,
Arbok.
it is. No, but I think I like listening to his music even when I'm working. It's like very rhythmic. It's very.
Yeah.
It has like different flows. I'm not good at like criticizing and describing music, but I just like it. That's all I'll say. I don't have to concentrate. It's like going on in the background, and it really changes your mood. Like early morning when I'm feeling sleepy, I just want to work silently.
Look at
I
this
just
guy
play it
early
in the
morning. Does he
background.
not know Weebs watch anime all night and wake up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Come
Some
on,
people have
Sid.
work to do.
Oh, look at
Uh-huh.
him thinking Weebs have work. I have no
Yeah,
work.
but but what do you think? Like, what do you think about the music in Samurai Champloo?
I can't talk shit about
No, but
music
how?
because my musical sense is as bad as my design sense, which is if you guys know, I don't
Mhm.
make the thumbnails for anything.
Yeah.
I just it's all chicken scratch. But I'd say I like the music. It's something. It's very pleasant to hear,
Yeah.
and it fits the mood of the. I don't know how. I don't understand how. Okay, I genuinely don't understand how hip hop fits ancient Japan, but somehow it does, and the music really adds a lot of depth to the scene. It really changes the way you experience the whole show. I think, like with Cowboy Bebop, the music is very iconic and plays a very important role in the entirety of the show. Like, without the music, the show would be a lot worse than it is right now. A lot worse than it. That makes it sound like the show is bad. Like, the show is that good because the music also helps a lot.
Yeah, I think.
Without the music, the show wouldn't be half as good.
I think you're right there, because imagine the show with like traditional like Japanese shamisen music, like, which they did have some, they
Yeah.
did have some like traditional Japanese singing and music for certain moments.
I think it would have still worked actually.
That worked
I think
beautifully.
the hip hop one
yeah.
was like a.
No, but the contrast was really amazing with like modern and this thing, right? Like,
Yeah, contrast was the main thing. Yeah.
that made, and like, because even the first scene,
Like, even if they.
what were you saying?
Even if they had ancient Japanese
Yeah.
music put in throughout, I would have still been happy. But the hip hop really added in a like extra flavor and an extra
Yeah.
oomph that really made it better. So unless I see the Japanese music and hear it, I don't know if I like it more or like it less. But in my brain, I think it would have
Yeah.
worked. Maybe not as well as hip hop, but it would have worked for
definitely. Yeah, they have a. I love like rewatching the show. I told you I love the music much more, and also like all the references. Like, you remember the episode where they show Jin, like when he's hurt after fighting Sarah, the blind woman.
sure. Yeah.
They show he like a random guy in a forest helps him, like picks him up, right? And
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
and he
Yeah,
asks
yeah.
him, "Who are you? What's your name?" And he's like, "I'm Miyamoto Musashi." And he's like, "What the hell, you're Miyamoto
Yeah.
Musashi?" Like, who was like, I think I told you about him. He was like one of the. They say he was one of the greatest swordsmen or samurai of all time. He had like an unbeaten record of
Oh.
like 61 duels, and he was like a dual-bladed samurai, which is like very unique. Yeah.
Ah. Well, he's almost as good as our Zoro.
I know,
then.
right? And that's why this guy, this thing, Jin was like surprised. We're like, "What are you, Miyamoto Musashi?" He's like, "Nah, I'm joking." But people actually think that guy might have been Miyamoto Musashi in the show, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it sounds like something you would do. Someone would come up to you and be like, "Are you Sid from Weeb101?" You'd be like, "Nah, that's not me. You're mistaking me for someone else."
I don't think anyone's gonna ever say that, but okay.
Hey, you never
They'll be
know.
like, "Who are you from? What's Weeb101? Never heard of that before."
Somebody comment saying, "Hey, it's Brew and Sid from Weeb101," and we shall get an ego boost. That's pretty much it. Okay, anyway, let's move on to
Two.
recommendations.
Okay.
Sid will recommend. I will just say Cowboy Bebop. I think that is a must watch.
Yeah, that is a must watch. You need to watch Cowboy Bebop. You need to watch. You need to listen to Nujabes. I would say listen to his albums. He's an amazing artist. I think he needs more love. He needs more people to listen to him. So I'll always tell people to listen to him. And also, if you want to check out other works by Watanabe, you can watch Carol and Tuesday, which is his latest show on Netflix. It's a pretty interesting show about manufactured AI music versus original like acoustic music, I would say. So you can check that out. You can check out Watanabe's other works like Genius Party. He's made a shot for that. He's made a shot for the Animatrix. And if you want to watch a really cool samurai movie, you can check out Sword and the Stranger. It's an amazing film. It's one of my favorite like samurai animated films. Like, it's mind blowing, and we'll probably do an episode on that in the future. So those are my recommendations.
And watch Afro Samurai.
Oh yeah, watch Afro Samurai. Holy shit, that's also a cool show. Good recommendation.
I know, right? Thanks.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, so I don't know. But I
Dead
don't
End,
know of
yeah.
it, so I just
No, it's a
searched
really
it.
good show. Yeah, I saw it a long time ago.
Yeah, so what's that? I shall act as if I know it, and I shall judge you for not
and watch
watching it if you
Samurai
haven't
Jack.
watched it. Samurai Jack, indeed.
Yes.
Sid has recently been playing the Samurai Jack game, and he got
Yeah,
obsessed.
it's amazing. I haven't finished it yet.
I had to convince him to do the podcast. He wasn't ready to do it.
Of
My
course.
God.
But yeah, amazing. Check those out and let us know what you think about it.
Anyway, Sid, what's up next week?
So we're also gonna be trying another episode like we did for the One Piece one, the previous episode. So we're gonna be trying another one of those. So that's coming out soon. Otherwise,
Hopefully.
yeah, we are gonna be talking about Bruce's favorite category. We're gonna be talking about Shokugeki no Soma or Food Wars, as those of you who know it. That's gonna be an amazing episode.
I don't know Food Wars, but I know Shokugeki no Soma,
Yeah.
and my god, is it a disappointing ending? Anyway,
Brew is gonna have
Spoiler alert.
another segment where he hates on the ending of Soma.
mm, yeah,
But
I
he
will. I'm
loves the
definitely
show
going to.
and the
There's
food
no-
overall before the ending.
I loved it. I did.
Yes, he did.
They ruined it.
So we shall talk about that. We shall do another of the like the new thing we're trying, the new series where we're taking general topics in anime and talking about it in relation to our own experiences, like we did for Dreams, which was our last episode. So watch out for the next one and just like and follow us everywhere. And yeah, that's it.
We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor.
Yes.
Anchor, the best place to listen
Best
to
place.
podcasts. This is totally not an ad. I can only get ads if 1,000 people listen. So make your friends listen so that I can
Please.
talk about
Yeah.
Anchor and get some money. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this episode of Weeb101. I'm Brew.
I'm Sid.
And I'm Arle. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay, let's cut at 3, 2, 1. Sign.